I'm Jessie.
And I'm Beck.
And we're from the Baw Baw Shire Council. And we're here today to talk to you about some new upcoming important decisions about waste and recycling that we want to make together as a community.
In February, the Victorian Government released Recycling Victoria, a new economy. It's aimed at making Victoria cleaner and greener and keeping waste out of landfill.
It's a big problem that we're sending so much to landfill. It's unsustainable and bad for the environment.
Recycling Victoria has a few key points that everyone in Victoria should know about because they're going to change the way we handle waste in Baw Baw.
So we will aim to introduce food organics into our green waste bin by 2023.
Also in 2023, a statewide container deposit scheme will be introduced across Victoria so that you can swap your empty cans and bottles for cash.
And by 2027, there will be a statewide requirement to separate glass from other recyclables.
Right now, your yellow recycling bin is commingled, which means everything can get thrown in together. Your metals, your glass, your cardboard and plastics.
Once the bin is picked up, it's taken to a recycling facility where it can be sorted into different materials to be recycled.
The trouble with having glass in the bin is that it often breaks when it gets picked up, which means that other recyclables become contaminated with broken glass.
That contamination can make it really difficult and costly for recyclers to sort and separate materials, which can mean that items that we should be recycling end up in landfill.
So the Victorian Government is using a combination of separating glass from our commingled recycling bins as well as the container deposit scheme to combat the issue of glass contamination.
To implement these measures, we'll have to make some changes to our waste management plan, and we're seeking your input to help us make the right decisions for all of us.
Another big issue that we need to tackle is food waste. From recent studies, we've shown that 43% of Baw Baw Shire residents' bins are actually made up of food, which is actually going straight to landfill.
And that's a really big problem. Food waste in landfill creates methane, which is a really potent greenhouse gas. Actually, it's even worse than carbon dioxide.
But if we can process these food scraps with our green organics bin, it is actually much more environmentally friendly and can be used back into compost for the local farmers.
And that's what's known as FOGO, food organics, garden organics. You might have heard of it before. Over 40 Victorian councils have already introduced it, and we're aiming to bring it in by 2023.
So when this change happens, your green organics bin will become your FOGO bin, which means you'll be able to put your food scraps and your garden organics waste in together.
We'll also look at adjusting how often we collect each bin to make it as efficient as possible.
Before these changes happen, we really want to hear from you.
These are really important changes for a healthy future, and it matters to us that we get your input so we can make the right changes for all of us.
I'm really glad to hear these important changes are coming to Baw Baw in the next few years. I'm truly shocked that 43% of household waste in Baw Baw Shire is food scraps. But if we keep rotting food out of landfill by getting on board with FOGO, we'll make a positive impact on reducing greenhouse gas and protecting our environment. I hope people will understand how easy the new system can be and support this. But if they have problems or ideas that they will join in by having their say, it's an important positive change for our future and our children's future.
There are so many simple things we can do to reduce the negative impacts of waste. It's so important to make sure that the stuff that could be recycled doesn't end up in landfill when it doesn't have to, and that's what this is all about. Separating our glass from the rest of our recycling is a pretty easy step. We can all manage if we can get behind it. I'm excited to see these forward-thinking changes coming to Baw Baw and urge everyone to get behind it and to get involved with the consultation.
So we really hope you jump on board, have your say to how waste management should be rolled out in Baw Baw Shire.
Food scratch, not